any other items right now that is going on where for you politically, with what's going on with White House right now, where politically for you, you're a little bit confused with?
Well, tell me what you mean by that. The White House.
Just some of the decisions. There's a lot of victories right now. You're seeing a lot of victories. You're seeing the big, beautiful bill. You're seeing, Russia, Putin, Trump talking. You're seeing China. You're seeing tariffs.
Before we move on from the Epstein thing real quick, if we could go to this. This is present day. This is the John Daly clip with Prince Andrew, the guy on undercover camera. Didn't you cover this on your show?
We did. Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. You guys covered this.
Yeah,
this
we
is,
did.
This is the...
him basically saying he didn't like the fact that Prince Andrew, the brother of the late, of the king, was having sex with underage girls, and he didn't like it.
Yeah, this is someone who's quite, loyal and a confidant to Prince Andrew. I got a lot of heat for this too, because people say this doesn't prove anything, and I think one of the challenges here is that you're confirming suspicions. You're getting them on video admitting it. He's having sex with underage girls, and then this guy goes on Piers Morgan. I don't know if I just think it's hilarious. I don't know if your producer could find that clip, and then he says, "I think O'Keefe's great." This girl that he said, man, she was beautiful.
Hot. No shame.
And what did you think about what you said? I regret saying it. I regret being. He
admits that he was giving you credit for the girl.
And credit to Piers Morgan for grilling him.
Big time.
Grilling him. I was actually shocked that it might be hard to find this clip, but Piers Morgan was just grilling him. So that's I've been honest to Pat, I've been so heads down in my reporting. I mean, heads down on this Epstein reporting. I have not,
followed everything that's going
the
on.
news right now in the world.
So let me make the second request.
Yeah.
So my first request was Fauci. My second request is Diddy. Have you at all thought about doing anything with Diddy, or you guys haven't focused on that one yet?
I think these are great ideas. No, I think I am, and I should, and I will. And I did get some sources with Diddy a year or two ago, but I think your idea. Let me ask you a better question. What is the thing that needs to be exposed? What, if exposed, would change things? That's helpful to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about, okay, so if you want to be part of something legendary, I'm talking legendary, is in the 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, J. Edgar Hoover, all these guys, when the FBI first started with him, there is no such thing as the crime family. That doesn't exist, right? Organized crime family doesn't exist. All right, now they know they had intel on him with the cross-dressing stuff. But in the 80s, Giuliani was able to bring down the mob with the help of the RICO law by this professor from Rutgers, that all of a sudden we saw a couple hundred mob bosses, underbosses, consiglieri, handcuffed, walking out, getting arrested. That was unfreaking believable.
Right.
It was something that everybody around the world heard about, the news, okay?
Them being perp walked.
Of course. If you, James, if you want something that is revolutionary, a breakthrough, it's Diddy, because he's alive. The people are alive. With Epstein, Epstein is
dead.
But if you get something from Leon Black, Rob, is Leon Black still alive?
I believe so.
If you go get something from Leon Black, which I don't know if you pursued or not.
Yes, 73 years old.
Okay, Leon Black is the one that apparently paid Epstein $150 million in consulting fees
still alive.
for tax purposes. Rod, can you type in tax purposes or tax Epstein? Just type tax Epstein. So right there, Leon Black gave $170 million to Epstein for, click on it, Rob, so we can read the story. So Leon Black, according to U.S. Senate Finance, he transfers $170 million to Epstein's accounts. And when they asked him why you did that, he said he paid the accused sex trafficker for tax advice. This is the most expensive tax advice anyone's ever given in the history of mankind. Leon Black, the billionaire financier and former CEO of Apollo Global Management, transferred $170 million to the Epstein covers for the course of 5 years. U.S. Senator Ron Wyden said in a letter that U.S. Justice and Treasury Department this week not $158 million as previously reported. An investigation commissioned by Apollo's board appeared to have missed $12 million in transfer, which were discovered by investigators working with the U.S. So Leon Black, some of these guys are around, okay? Some of them are around on what Epstein did. But with Diddy, you're talking about Epstein, you're talking about Diddy, Hollywood, sports. You're talking about,
Producers.
these talent agencies, producers, countries. I mean, Diddy's is, and it's going on right now. So if you did something while the hearing is going on, it's like you finding out something while O.J. Simpson's thing's going on.
Right.
And you leak something during the entire investigation. It's like you doing something and you drop it during Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Right.
But Diddy to me is the comparable of an O.J. Simpson
And
thing.
what do you think the thing, if caught on video, that would change thing? I'd love to see people perp walk. I don't have the power to arrest, but what is the thing that needs to be on video in your mind?
Oh, it's very easy for me.
Tell me.
It's very easy. It's a gay sex with, men that, play straight.
I see.
And that is
And blackmail.
released.
In other words, these men have internal conflicts and they're blackmailed over this. And
Oh, and I think those video footages, believe it or not, I believe exist in different people's phones because I think these guys are so, Diddy thought he was so untouchable that no one was ever going to lose. And they would airdrop a video to each other.
like iPhone, iOS, just in the photos.
I am willing to bet that in some kind of a folder it's sitting there with these footages, that people save that's got a specific code that the video is all the way in and say, watch what I have with what we did here and here and there.
I think that too, and also the so-called blackmail. How do you think it actually works? Like, what is the conversation like in your mind, in your imagination? I'm just curious, you guys, because that helps me as an investigative understand what I'm trying to catch.
How do I think Diddy's model works?
Correct. What's your hypotheses?
I mean, it's very simple. You come to the house, you party, you have one of the girls that locks onto one of the guys who's one of your workers. They go upstairs. There's 17 cameras in there. He says, hey, man, can I get a room? Yeah, bro, just go use my room. Goes to the room, leaves. She's 17, she's 15. Or there's a guy in there, and I record it. I have it. And the next day I say, hey, I just want to let you know, here's what I got. It's very simple. Moving forward, anything I ask from you, I need you to do.
That's the thing that needs to be on video.
Yeah.
What you just said,
Yeah.
that would change everything, in my opinion.
I think that would be in text, not in video.
In a text message.
I think it would be in text messages. But I think that video, well, he's dumb enough to say it. He's dumb enough to say stuff like that. He's capable of saying stuff like that.
Well, you might have hearsay. In other words, and this is what happened with Prince Andrew, another guy close to him said that this is what happened, which is still powerful.
Well,
Yeah.
those guys are out there. The Gene Deals, the security, those guys have come out. They've done their part. There's a lot of people that have said stuff like that, like Suge Knight talking about his link to Clive Davis and all this other stuff. That stuff is coming out. But if you can get him tied to a few other people, I think this will be the biggest story you'll break.
I am
Especially
working on this, and I will work on this.
Okay. Especially with some of the stuff that was dropped this week. Some of the ecstasy pills and
With Obama's face on
yeah,
them.
some
Obama's.
very, very weird stuff going on here, James.
Oh, and there's just
Very.
with Obama and Obama, because he was hanging out with them a lot. He was at the Rock the Vote thing at his house, hanging out, partying. And then you have videos of like Chrissy Teigen with John Legend. And they asked Chrissy Teigen, where's the craziest place you've had sex in public? And she goes, there was that Obama thing. And John Legend's face looks like he saw a ghost. He looks like he saw a freaking ghost. Did you see that, Pat?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Robbie, I sent it to you in the Slack, but
I just think, the part with what world we're living in today, we're living in a world today where we're not sure the U.S. government is gonna drop these stories because these are stories you can use to get intel.
I mean, this is, I commit to you that I will do this. and I usually do get the story. Sometimes it takes me a little longer than I'd like, but this is also very dangerous, wouldn't you admit, to do these stories?
Well, you subscribe to this lifestyle.
I certainly did. I remember you said about a year ago, you said, James O'Keefe has chosen a tough life. And it was I think it was a more profound statement than even you intended. Not tough in the way that most people, usually they use the courts against me, legal, lawyers. That's a whole other conversation. But this is very dangerous. And the people that have come before me, like what's the movie, To Kill a Messenger, with about a reporter in California who reported on the CIA and the drugs in the CIA, and they were given, and he committed suicide. I think he shot himself in the head twice, by the way.
Oh,
yeah, this guy. It was based upon Gary Webb, To Kill a Messenger, and these are the reporters that came before me. Gary Webb managed to shoot himself in the head twice.
how?
That's a really
Very
impressive thing to
talented.
do.
That's super
Holy
talented.
moly.
You'd think the gun would fall out of your hand the first time.
You would think.
Yeah, he did some stories on the CIA. It was a great movie, and Gary Webb has a remarkable quote, an incredible quote that I would like to read on the air in front of all of you. And it's from this book that was written called To Kill a Messenger. And I'm going to paraphrase because I can't pull it up, but it's Gary Webb says, I was winning. I'm going to paraphrase it. I was winning awards. I was getting accolades. I was giving speeches. I won the Pulitzer Prize. And then I broke some stories. He's talking about the one about the CIA. That made me realize how misplaced my bliss had been. I started messing with the wrong people, and I began to realize I had misplaced my value and what I actually value. And I'm butchering the quote, but it's a profound quote. And then he committed suicide. So my point to you is that this is very dangerous, man.
No, the job you've chosen, it's tough because if okay, here's the next part. If you have a lot of friends in high places, James, you're not doing your job right.
That's correct. But you know what everyone says in the conservative movement? Do you know Cash? Do you know Pam? Do you know this guy? It's all about rubbing elbows and people doing favors. I don't do that for a living.
No, that's not the profile of this job.
No.
The profile of this job is exactly what you're doing, and it's not for everybody. It's just not for everybody because you're not a popular, cool person. For you to keep the T word for as long as possible, you can't have a lot of friends. And you know what the T word is?
The
Trust.
Trust?
Yeah, to keep trust, you can't have a lot of friends. At high places.
That's right. It's a tough thing as a journalist to navigate the relationship between what I call autonomy and access. There's a tension in journalism because on one hand, you have to protect your sources.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, you have to investigate. And it's very difficult. It's an art form.
Yeah.
It's an ethical line. At what point I'm going to burn this? In business, you call it burning bridges. In journalism, you burn bridges every day. You report on powerful people. So it's very tough. It's
Well,
very
Jake
tough.
Tapper, look at what happened with Jake Tapper, right? Like with all the stuff that he's going through right now. Okay, why is he losing respect from other journalists?
Because we all knew what he's now reporting.
Yeah.
Like he's acting like it's news.
So he's acting like it's news.
Hello, everyone. I'm James O'Keefe. Been doing this journalism thing for about 20 years. Truth, justice, exposing corruption, everything that comes along with it. If you want to connect with me, talk to me about any of this, you can connect with me through Minect. You can see the QR code below. Look forward to hearing from you.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.